Theo, and for today's festive Kenwood Kids Club, we're going to be making some delicious sage and onion stuffing turkey burgers with a cranberry ketchup and all the trimmings. And it couldn't be easier. These are delicious, perfect for getting into the festive spirit this year. Now, I'll run through what we've got. For our ketchup, our cranberry ketchup, we're going to cheat, make this really easy. So we've got some great little bit of sort of cranberry sauce, cranberry jam, a little bit of ketchup, a little bit of dark soy sauce, which is going to give this umami flavour to it. So we're going to load that up in a little while. We've got all the trimmings as well to go with it, which we'll do. But the star of the show is our sage and onion stuffing turkey burgers. So let's run through what we've got. So we've got in here, and this is straight out of a packet, sage and onion stuffing, standard brand name. We've got about 45 grams in there. The first thing you want to do before we get into any of this, you want to add to that about 100 mils of hot water. Okay, so we're just going to do that now. Sort of just enough to cover it, really. That's about it. We're just going to leave that to rest. Right, while that's doing its thing, let's run through everything else we've got. So we've got some turkey mince here. You can get turkey breast mince, turkey thigh mince. The thigh I prefer just because it's a bit more flavourful. There's a bit more of a fat content which keeps it moist. So we've got about 250 grams to do 2 burgers for us. We've got some half an onion, we've got some garlic, and then for all of our lovely toppings, we've got some bacon, we've got some blue cheese, tomatoes, lettuce, a couple of brioche buns, all of it. So let's crack on with the first job. First job, if you've got a food processor, amazing, use it, it will make light work of this. If you haven't, it doesn't matter. We're going to put half an onion into our food processor. If you haven't got a food processor, just chop it up finely. And we're not going to muck about with it too much. We're going to let this do all the heavy lifting. So we're just going to top and tail it, peel off that outer skin. Like so. Let's get rid of these. You think I've got a bin down there, it's just gone on the floor. I forgot to get one. Right, half an onion. So we're just going to lightly cut this just to give this a bit of a helping hand. So just in a few slices, a couple of big chunks, like that's it. Drop that in there. Want some garlic to this, so we've got a good big clove of garlic. And I really love this turkey burger because it's festive, you know, it's all those sort of summer, all those sort of Christmas flavours, the stuffing, the cranberry sauce, the turkey, and it just gets me into the festive spirit. So 1 clove of garlic, again, we're just going to cut this into a few pieces, just to give this a helping hand, drop that in. Right, we're going to blitz this first of all to get this sort of broken down, and then our stuffing, which is already sort of hydrated, if you like. Give that a little mix. And we're going to work this into our burgers. And this is going to do 2 things for us. It's going to lighten the burgers, so it's not just meat and really dense. This is going to add a bit more sort of lighter texture to it. It's also going to pack it out with all that great festive flavour as well. So it's going to be awesome. So right, let's just quickly get the cover on this. I'm just going to pulse this a little bit. Done. That's all we need. Right, let's add a bit of seasoning to this. So, a little pinch of salt, a little bit of pepper. Right, we're going to drop our stuffing in. So, you know, it's already come together in literally a couple of minutes. So we're just going to drop in here just to help it break up a bit. Oh, it smells great. I love this stuff. Okay. If you blend this too much, it will turn into a bit of a stodge. So we're just going to pulse it just to sort of break it up a fraction. So let's do that. That's all. So if you're doing this without a food processor, just a big bowl, get it in there, mash it up with a fork, use your hands, get the kids involved. And this is what it looks like. So I mean it's done really. So that's our sort of half our burger ingredients, if you like. So back onto there. And now we've got our turkey mince. So We can add this to a bowl and use our hands and get it all in. I'm going to be super lazy and use this just because I can. So we just drop the meat in into chunks. Whenever you're using raw meats of any kind, always wash your hands afterwards. Everyone nicks the towels in our house. They always, these things, they're worth a fortune in our house, like gold dust. You can't find them ever. There you go, like that. Right, back on there. Okay, so turkey mince is in there with the rest of our ingredients. Again, we don't want to pulverise this, we want it quite light, so we're just going to use this to break it down. So just the pulse element. Right, that's enough. So literally a few seconds. Right, that's what it looks like. So let's get this into a bowl so we can start to form some patties out of this. So grab a bowl. Right, nice big bowl. Take out the blade to start with. And then just with a fork, we're going to scoop this all out. Do you know, I always feel a bit naughty using the food processor because it just makes life so much easier. Honestly, that's done. Right, let's get this out of the way. Okay, give us a bit more space. Right, so this is our turkey sort of burgers done basically here. Let's give that a little stir. It smells so good, I love it. Brilliant. Right, so what we're going to do with this now, we're going to form these into patties, we're going to get these cooking and then we can get our other bits sorted out. Okay, so get your frying pan on. Right, you've got to get your hands dirty now. So grab a chunk. Yeah, you can feel how light it is as well. Having the stuffing in there has really lightened this. So what you're not going to get is a burger that you bite into and you sort of chew along with it. It's going to be nice and light. So we don't want these to look too neat. I think they look good when they're a bit messy. We want nice big burgers, we do. Because it's Christmas and it's indulgent, and why wouldn't you, eh? Right, so that's it. I need to smell one in. Again, grab it into a ball. I find it's easiest in a ball shape, flatten it out, and it sort of does all the work for you that way. You know, so these are a couple of proper big burgers. This is sort of, if you were doing this just for the kids, you could probably get 4 kids portions out of 250 grams of mincemeat. For adults, you know, you want something substantial, this is going to be your main bit of dinner. Push that down. Right, we're just going to leave those to sear, so let's not muck about with them or anything, okay? Just leave them doing their thing. Again, let's wash our hands. And quick wipe. I can't wait to eat these things, honestly. Right, so they're cooking, we're going to get some other bits sorted out. So we've got our brioche buns, of course, and we're going to toast them. We've got our tomato here. So why don't we get all these bits prepped and on a plate. So, right, tomato, obviously wash it first. We're going to do these nice big thick pieces. Look, big tip, use a bread knife for cutting tomatoes. It'll make your life a million times easier. So nice bread knife, let's get rid of the stalk. You can cut around that, and that means you just can pop that stalk out. If you're not bothered, you can just leave it in. There we go, so that comes out nice and neat. Just like this. Yeah, use a bread knife, a serrated edge, only way to go for tomatoes. So let's cut some nice big slices of this. I reckon we're going to want sort of 2 per burger. Or maybe 1 actually, they're big they are. Let's cut a few of these. Okay. So look, that's our tomato topping sorted. We've got some lettuce here as well. Again, just some iceberg lettuce. Doesn't have to be fancy, you know, so let's keep that on high. Right, we're going to just shred this, so lots of thin slices. Okay, so that's about a quarter of an iceberg lettuce, and just break that up as you do, just loosen it. Okay, so we've got some sheets of blue cheese. You know, I've cheated with these and just got the sort of sliced ones. If you haven't, a bit of cheddar, whatever you want. I quite fancy a bit of blue cheese, goes really well with it. Right, we've already cut our buns open, so they're going to go on, they'll be good to go in a minute. But we've got some bacon. I mean, it's a burger, you want to have a bit of bacon on it, I think. So look, we've got streaky smoked bacon. Streaky's great, there's a lot of fat content which crisps up, it keeps it really juicy, and it brings out a lot of flavour. And we want the smoked version as well, which we've got. But look, they're quite long, so we're going to cut these in half, just literally straight in half, like so. And that just means when we put them on our burgers, they're going to fit on nice and neat and not be draped over the edges. And as soon as we turn these over, we're going to put them in the pan. Okay, so they've been going for a couple of minutes. Let's flip them over, see how they're looking. Oh, nice. I mean, these are whoppers, aren't they, these? Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to sear these so they get that lovely sort of darkness to them, and then we're going to whack them in the oven right into. So we give them a couple more minutes in the oven, 200 degrees, that's 6 minutes. So, while we're waiting for those to go, before we put them in the oven, we want to get a colour on them first. Let's make our lovely cranberry ketchup, which couldn't be easier. So we've got here about, I'd say it's about 3 tablespoons of cranberry sauce. So that's about 45 mils into a bowl. We've got about 2 tablespoons of regular ketchup, straight in there. And we're just going to mash this down, just to help it sort of combine. I mean, look, you could make a cranberry ketchup by getting fresh cranberries or frozen cranberries and cooking them down in a sort of, you know, apple juice with a bit of soy in there and tomato puree, but we're going to cheat, and why not? I love convenience. Let's do it. Okay, so that's sort of well amalgamated, if you like. So that's what that looks like. Okay. So now we've got some dark soy sauce. So this isn't sort of light soy. This is specifically premium dark soy sauce, and it's thick and it's a little bit sweeter than regular soy, and it's got this incredible sort of umami flavour to it. We're not adding this to taste the soy sauce, we just want to give it some depth. So for this, we're literally going to be putting in half a teaspoon of soy sauce, of this dark stuff. It's really strong and it's just to give a bit of depth. So let's pour it into a little spoon. So that's it. Nothing. Nothing. Give this a mix. And you can see straight away that colour has changed to almost like a barbecue sauce colour now, which is fantastic. So give that a swirl. Okay, now have a little taste. Oh, it's perfect. See, ketchup is a great tool to have in your kitchen. It's not just for chips. The great thing about ketchup is it covers all your bases. You get the sweetness, you get the sharpness, you get a bit of the sourness, that vinegar flavour. So it's a really good trick to have up your sleeve, to add to little bits, to just bring some sauces together actually. So that's our cranberry sauce done. They're looking fantastic. I think now is the time to get our bacon in that pan. Okay, so just drop the bacon around the edge, and now we're going to whack this in the oven. These burgers have got a nice bit of colour to them, which is what we want. So let's get these in the oven, just to finish cooking that interior. Welcome back. So miraculously, the room has been cleaned. Our burgers have been in the oven for about 6-7 minutes all in. So let's get them out and get them loaded up. They are looking good and they are smelling great. Right, while they're in the pan, while they're hot, remember the handle will be hot in the pan. What we're going to do, we're just going to flip them over. The reason for that is they're going to be hotter at the bottom because they've been in contact with this metal pan. And that also means we can get our cheese on top now. We want that to melt a little bit. So just pop that on there. You can, of course, put the cheese on and whack them back in the oven for a couple of minutes if you want, but that's okay for me. Right, so they're on there. Let's get these off. We're just going to let them rest for a second. Oh, they look immense, these. They smell awesome, like, honestly. Right, so our bacon is nice and crispy and charred, which is what we're really after, so let's get that off. In fact, let's put our bacon straight on top, because that's hot as well, so it just starts to help melt that cheese down a bit. Ouch, ouch. Great. Oh, a little bit there. Okay, we're going to put this back on the heat, and there's a reason that we're doing this, because got some of that lovely oil and the juices from the bacon and everything else, and that's great flavour, so we don't want it to go to waste. So, brioche buns. Grab your bases to start with, put them in, give them a little rub around, just soak up some of that oil. Get in there, get your hands dirty with this. You want this on the highest heat you've got, because we're just looking at charring the outside, toasting them in essence. So, rub that in. And then last one. Okay, push them down a bit so you've got sort of a good bit of contact. If you want to get really decadent, you can butter them first. We're just going to do that for a second. Right, our ketchup is made. We've got our bits done. So it's just about loading these up. So let's leave these for a second. Push down a little bit. You can hear them make contact. And that says you can butter them as well if you want. Okay. Smells awesome already. So they only need a few seconds. Let's just take that off the heat. I'll take these out so we don't burn them. I'm actually salivating. This is how good this smells. Right, let's load up these burgers. So I like to go with a little bit of mayo at the bottom. And I'm just going to spread that a little bit. Okay, so I think a bit of lettuce to start off with. So let's get some of that on there. Nice amount of lettuce. And then I feel like I want a tomato. I'm going to go at the bottom of the tomato. So I've got these are quite big. So I'm just going to do a big one, and I'm going to do a little one, just to give me full coverage, which is important with a burger. I think you want a bit of everything in every bite. Right, now for the piece de resistance. Let's grab this bun. Look at that bun, this burger. So you've got the burger, we've got that blue cheese. So the burger is turkey. It's got all that stuffing in there as well, which you can smell. It smells amazing. That lovely blue cheese on top. We've got the crispy, smoky bacon. We're going to slide that on there. I'm going to apologise in advance for how messy this is going to look when I bite into this thing. Right, so we've got this lovely cranberry ketchup. There's no way I'm putting on that bit, it's going to go everywhere. We're going to go for the bun on this. So let's take a good dollop of that. I mean, look how dark and sultry and sexy that looks. Incredible. Get it on there. Oh, perfect. Top that off. Oh, that is immense, isn't it? Look at that. That is that's a proper burger. Right. Let's cut this in half so we can sort of get a real good look at it. Again, a serrated bread knife is great for stuff like this. Oh, I've just lost a bit of my bacon. I'm gutted. That's got to go back on. Where are you from? Where are you from? You're from there. There you go. Pop them on there. Okay. So look at that. So that's it. So our burger is cooked. You see that? Yeah, good close up. Look at that. That looks good, right? The burger is cooked. If you squeeze it, it's moist. We've got all the headline flavours. I've got to go for it. I hope you can have an amazing Christmas and New Year. Go for some of this. Oh. Mm. Mm. That is awesome. Honestly, it's to die for. All those flavours, it's like a mouthful of Christmas in one go. This is fantastic. I'm sure you probably don't want to watch me eating this, so I'm going to let you go. I'm going to finish this off. Have an amazing Christmas, and I'll see you guys back in 2021. Mwah! Bye for now. Mm. 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 Oh, that's so good. That is so good. Have we switched this off yet? I can't. Mm.